All right, we're live. Hi, guys. It's Melissa from Adventures of Frugal Mom. Of course, you know who I am because you're on my page. And today I'm joined by my fabulous friend Lee, who has actually had inspired me to redo my dining room in farmhouse style because she's been doing all her little DIY projects. And she is actually has an amazing Instagram called at Lee underscore Yellow Door Ranch. Right, Lee?
Yep.
And so she's here to talk to us about things that we can do during the quarantine, how we can shop our homes to kind of refresh and give a new outlook while we're at home. So, Lee, take it away.
Hey, how are you all today? I hope everybody's doing good. You guys are maintaining sanity at home and not day drinking too early. So I was completely thrilled when Melissa asked me to kind of help her and go on this Facebook Live and to kind of share some of the things that have inspired me and some of the things that you have in your own homes that you can use to update your decor and kind of change out for seasons. Right now it's really hard. We just started spring while in quarantine. So how do you refresh your house after winter? And some people I know still had Christmas items out through somewhat at the end of January. So it's kind of refreshing your house, making it feel great and special without having to rely on going out to a store because we can't. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite things ever, and that is books. Everybody has books, hardback, paperback, any kind of books. I personally love like sci-fi, vampires, romance novels, but I don't really want all those titles kind of showing in my house. So I put my books pages out. And one example I have here for you, and I kind of sit right. So I've taken just a metal holder for like serveware and everything. I'm sure some of you have many of these, sitting around your house. Your grandmother used them all the time. I've put some books in the metal facing pages out. And then I've added just like this little house that was actually part of my Christmas decor. And I have something cute that I can set on a table in my living room if I want. And it really kind of freshens up and brightens up the room. Try not to drop things here. Another thing that I hope that everybody has, if you're, anything like me, I love plants, I love flowers. I try really hard with my green thumb. I've been working out in my garden a lot more lately. But I like to take pots, I have these tiny pots. I picked these up actually at Walmart for like, I'm going to say they were like 40 cents a piece. And so, if you're grocery shopping at Walmart, run through the garden section, you can pick these up. I actually did a post on my Instagram where I took chalk paint and I dry brushed my pots to make them look distressed and older. This pot is actually filled with just matches. And I have it on my dining room table. As you can see, the green kind of shows up, looks really cute. And it's a little bit different. I also love and keep on hand bags of moss. And I know that you can order stuff like this from Amazon still. And as you can see, I just kind of plopped a bunch of moss into this little pot. And then I actually took a milk glass container, or I should say, I think it's like a candy bowl. Oh. And I just set my little pot inside, and I have these old English to French little flashcards and kind of put it in there, and it looks neat. It's interesting. It's textures and layers. Those are the one things that you need to really understand is textures and layers. And I have this as well on my dining room table with my little match pot next to it. So lots of textures, lots of layers. Those are the things that you want to make sure you keep in mind.
Tell us a little bit about the wall behind you while you're talking, getting your next thing.
So this is our guest bedroom, and my husband is in construction. He does nonprofit essential repairs for low-income homeowners, and he had done exterior soffit repair on a gentleman's house, and they had a bunch of wood left over, and so he ripped the wood down and he brought it all home for me, and I routed the edges and primed it and sanded it, and then he helped me hang it on the wall. So we actually do have a shiplap wall. It's just one wall. And one of my talking points that I do want to share is updating frames. You can take frames, and I love to go on the internet and just print out black and white photos of just random things. I think one of my favorite ones is my cow.
I'm going to steal that from you because I love cows.
I'll see if I can find it and send it to you.
Okay.
So I just took a frame and I put in, a printout picture of a fun cow, and I hang it on the wall in my guest room because it is farmhouse style, farmhouse decor. These pictures I actually took from a trip to the Bahamas with my mother, and I printed those out. So you can do all kinds of things when you really kind of put your mind to what you have and what you're willing to kind of think outside the box on. Print pictures of anything that you want, anything you find interesting. I love doing black and white. It saves #1 color printing for my printer. And, if it's not really perfect, nobody will notice. It's black and white.
That's true. Well, I'm going to get through some comments here. Sharon
Okay.
says your house is awesome.
Oh, thank you, Sharon.
Molly Stillman from Still Be Molly says 2 of my favorite ladies.
Oh, hey, Molly.
We have Courtney Shirakis watching, Jennifer Kennedy watching, and then Allison, who I'm actually going to be on her podcast. I'm actually recording a podcast with her next week. She says, cute ideas. I love to house shop too, always repurposing my old treasures.
Yes, and honestly, repurposing and putting things back and reworking what you have. It does take a little bit of thought, sometimes a little bit of patience, but to me, it's easier to do than trying going out and finding something that I want or need, which is one of the main reasons that I buy just about every kind of chalk paint I can find. This stuff goes on everything. You don't have to prime it. It's just got to be clean. It dries. It's perfect. It's one of the things that I've used massively around my house. I'm going to switch the camera a little bit. This was an old window my husband took out of a lady's house.
That is so pretty.
And he brought it home and it was in very rough shape. It was terrible. So I sanded it, was really careful around it, really cleaned up the glass. And then I actually put that green chalk paint on first. And then I went over it with a white chalk paint and took sandpaper to it after it dried. So the green will kind of show through and give it some depth and texture.
Yeah, chalk paint is life. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that I just posted about that bar cart that I redid. I actually got inspiration from Lee to do that, and I will be revealing my dining room pretty soon because she got me hooked on chalk paint. She's seen the finished products. Nobody else has seen it because I'm like, look what you've inspired me.
It's beautiful. Oh, what you did looks amazing. I can't wait for your reveal.
Yeah. So, tell me how did you get started in doing all this? How did you get started shopping your home?
Sorry, I want to set some things down. So in February, the contract role that I was on ended and I was out of work. As anybody knows, when you're used to having an income or 2 incomes in a household and you go down to 1, it becomes stressful. It becomes hard. So clearly all spending went out the window. Well, we started March and it's springtime and I really wanted to update and do things in my house. Pinterest used to be a big kind of go-to for me, but I have found I'm getting more and more ideas from just Instagram. I see photos of things that people post and I think to myself, I have something similar, or I have something I can make or put together. And then just kind of trying things out. And, if I goofed, oh, well, nobody knew but me. It was all right. And if it looks great, I was always excited. And that's what I share online. you know, it's all kind of trial and error of going through things and having the courage really to put yourself out there and to try it. You know, it's seeing what somebody else did like you did, and trying it. And you know what, if it bombed, if it failed, okay, well, you know, you tried.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously my blog cabin that I'm in right now is from Pinterest. I pulled different ideas from all over the place for Pinterest to create the where I am right now. Another some real quick let's see. Allison says chalk paint is life. I
Yes.
agree. Michaela, my daughter Michaela's actually watching. So hi
Oh,
Michaela, even though you're in the house.
hey, Michaela.
And then my friend Heather is watching. She's actually local here. She her daughter Kennedy was in the same grade as Gracie, and they kind of grown up together. So they're all hitting that senior 2020, not knowing that uncertainty of not knowing when graduation is going to be right now is all about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's hard. I feel so bad, especially for the seniors. I mean, you're missing out on your final year of like, I'm done with this.
yes, I'm done. I'm done. I want that diploma. I want to walk across that stage and say I'm out.
Yes, exactly.
So, do you have any other tips that you want to share? I know you had the carrot that you were showing me earlier.
Yeah, so one of the things that I actually learned on Instagram was a DIY carrot with cloth. It's like it blew my mind at how easy it was. I made so many, and my husband's like, we have carrots for days. So, as I mentioned, you know, clay pots, and then it's fabric, and you just kind of roll it into a cone. I stuffed it with that fiber kind of inner filling, like in pillows, hot glued, you know, around the edge and around the top, and put in some greenery that I had, and finished it off with, as you can see, a little twine. I'm telling you, there's certain things that you keep on hand, ribbon and twine, moss, and
Chalk paint.
chalk paint, definitely chalk paint. You know, those are all things that I keep on hand at all times, because I'm constantly finding uses and needs for them and ideas. So for spring, you know, Easter's over. So I removed all of the orange carrots that I had, and I just have my black and white gingham, and then I have a plain white one. And this actually is displayed in my dining room with a little white rabbit next to it.
Oh,
I am a big proponent that rabbits are not just for Easter. I have rabbits still out in my house. I have Pottery Barn had an amazing sale on rabbits recently. And I have rabbits all throughout my house because to me, rabbits are spring. I'm used to growing up around rabbits. We had a rabbit when I was little. We have rabbits on our property. So, you know, rabbits to me are not just Easter, they're spring.
yeah. And then tell me the china that you were showing earlier. You showed me some.
So I love china. It's one of the things that I tend to buy, and oddly enough, I get probably a good 40 or 50% of my china from Goodwill, which I absolutely love. I bought these beautiful, right before the quarantine, I bought these beautiful white with a little trim of yellow flowers around the edge. And I have those stacked on my dining room table with a teapot on top of it. So I like to take things like plates, and this is actually my grandmother's china. And I have 3 cups and a stack of plates. These can easily go in your living room. They can go in your dining room, in your kitchen. You know, in the kitchen, you can set up like a bar cart or a bar area, you know, a coffee station. In the living room, you could do a little succulent in here, and really kind of give it, you want, as I said before, you know, height, texture, variety in what you're looking at. So dropping a little succulent right in the top, right in your living room, it's not going to look like, oh, she's got dishes in her living room. It's like, oh, that looks cute. It's got a little succulent in it.
Yeah, it's true. And actually, teacups, if you buy a lot, found a thrift store near us has teacups. And when I opened up the blog cabin and had my blog cabin opening, I gave everybody that attended a little teacup with some little cookies inside of it, and I had wrapped it up really pretty. So that's a great gift too.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And it doesn't have to
Absolutely.
match anything.
No, that's what's so fun about teacups and like tea parties. My sister recently moved back from well, yeah, I guess she lived here before, so it would be back. She moved from Kansas here, and she loves to have high tea with ladies and cookies and tea. And I think it's so fun because it almost reminds me of like Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Hatter and the tea time, but having everybody have a different cup and saucer, I think looks really neat on a table and fun.
It does, and it's like shabby chic now. It's totally in.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Christian Reyes is watching, so hi, Christian. Allison says, I have tons I inherited from grandparents and purchased secondhand. I need some new ideas of how to reuse, so this is great. So she likes your ideas about reusing the teacups.
Great, thank you.
So is there anything else that you want to share with us, or?
You just kind of have to think outside the box, take things that you have around your house. I can't tell you how many kinds of bowls, wooden bowls and, bowls of things, and I will fill them with things. I might take a ton of, like, why can't I think of it? Sewing thread, like little bobbins and everything, and kind of fill this and put it into the living room as, texture and variety and color. One of the things that I am huge about, and I buy these every time I go to Target, they're about usually $3 to $5, cake stands. I have a cake stand sitting next to my sink with my soap, and and it looks cute. It's not like just my soap is sitting on the counter. And then I add things to it. So during Christmas, I had small trees, and so I put a little tree on it. I use these around the house everywhere. I pull them out, like I said, again, going back, height and texture. You take this and you add something to it, and it really elevates. I also do things like I love taper candles. I grew up with a formal dining room with candles around the dining room. It's somewhat, but not necessarily my style to keep a lot of candles on the dining room table. I do have some antique brass candle holders, and I like them, but I like to display my candles. So I have some really pretty like blues and grays and different colored candles. And so I'll take a bunch of them and put them into like a pot and put it up in my china hutch, and you can see the candles, and it just gives it a little something extra, and you're displaying something.
And your tablescapes are out of this world too. I love your tablescapes.
Thank you. I do have a tip for that. My wonderful aunt, my Aunt Anne, she is like, I'm sorry. She blows Martha Stewart out of the water. She is amazing. She has done all kinds of dinner parties and gatherings. And when you go to her house, you feel like you're in a 5-star hotel because it's just phenomenal and everything looks so good. So one of the things that she taught me is, so I upsized our dining room table, and I have a ton of tablecloths for our old table, which don't fit our new table. Turn them catty corner, make them kind of go at an angle on the table, and that will give you layering. So you can have like a plain white tablecloth down that fits your big table. And then I have like a lemon tablecloth, and I just kind of turned it catty corner so it was at a bit of an angle on the dining room table. It added some texture, and it made it look really kind of fun and neat. So that was something that I definitely learned from her, that I always remembered and kind of tucked away. Like, it doesn't always have to fit. Just kind of play with it and turn it some.
Okay, it looks like my internet is being wonky again. Why? Because you're kind of frozen on my screen. I don't know if you're frozen on their screen, because Facebook is lagging behind on the other side.
You're frozen on mine.
I'm frozen on. Okay, Lee, are you still there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can't see you.
Oh no. Yeah, I lost your visual as well.
Let me try. Hold on. I hate this because this was such a good. Okay, now I'm seeing you, but you can't see me.
Oh no, I can see you now.
Okay, because I
And
just
you're no
switched to
longer
the internet.
frozen.
I just switched to the internet, another different internet now. So let's
Okay.
see. So yeah, Sharon said you're fine there, but not me. Okay, now I'm back
Okay.
on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Internet, technology, what are you gonna do? Plus, I have two girls home. One is doing her interior architecture work on the computer. So I'm
Oh
sorry about
wow.
that, guys. I have to make
No,
sure.
yeah, I don't know about anybody else, but it's like the internet has definitely I've noticed since the stay-at-home order went into place, at least in North Carolina, with more of my neighbors working from home, that my internet is going a bit slower during the day when it normally didn't.
Yep, totally. Oh, I have to give a big shout out because Maddie just joined us from California. Hi, baby girl.
Oh, hey, Maddie.
This. She just joined us from California. And that means that she must be either on a lunch break or she decides she's done for the day. Because she's shelter in place and she is actually going to school there and get her PhD out there, but she's working from home. So hi, Maddie.
We're all proud of you.
Is there anything else that you want to share?
I can't really think of anything. I mean, just, when in doubt, use super glue. I take catalogs and things and I cut out pictures of flowers and glue them onto like a cardstock and display those around the house. Since I can't really go out and just buy fresh flowers.
Okay,
So,
like
be creative.
unfrozen or not.
Oh no.
Oh, internet. So I guess that's our clue to kind of just like wrap it up because
wrap
this
it
internet
up.
is
And
going
if people
crazy.
want to leave questions or anything, I'll be checking.
Yes,
I'll check on
questions in the comments.
Yeah, and I can coordinate with Melissa to get you guys some answers if you have specific questions.
And Instagram, she's only on Instagram with her decor items, and it's at Lee_Yellow Door Ranch, right?
That's correct. That's what we live in, a Yellow Door Ranch.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lee, for joining us.
Thank you so much. I had so much fun.
All right. Bye.
Bye.